Hello, everyone. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties lately. I know I was meant to jump on here 25 minutes ago, so I really apologize by the late start. I really need to work out these technical difficulties with my microphone. Hi, how are you all? I'm jumping on here. I really want to share an honest and vulnerable live today. I really want you to feel like you're never alone in this journey. And I hope that being in this group and seeing all the support that everyone's giving you and seeing all the posts makes you feel like you're not alone. And, this is why I'm here doing this live as well. And I know how hard it can be. Whilst I'm, now finally have stepped out of that cyclone, or tornado, what you might call it. I was once there too, in that eye of the storm, and know exactly how it feels. I've been on that roller coaster of emotions and know far too well what it is like to lose sleep every single night. And I want to share my kids' picky eating story with you. It used to be one of my biggest ongoing battles. And like most picky eating with kids, all my kids wanted to eat was cheese pizza, fries, chicken nuggets, hamburgers, hot dogs, and grilled cheese sandwiches. I want you to pop in the comments now what your favorite kids' picky eating. If I haven't covered it, give me what your kids' favorite food is and their picky eaters. In fact, to be honest, it was impossible to get my kids to eat any unprocessed foods, unprocessed meats or vegetables or fruit or pasta or salad. They were even fussy about dessert. I mean, seriously, who doesn't want to eat apple pie? And they would look at this plate when it was served to them and they'll be like, even before they even saw what was on it, they were like, danger, danger, this is going to be awful. And they, my oldest in particular would like scream and cry and not even want to try it. It was just like straight away, bang, not going to do it. And I felt like a failure. I knew they really weren't getting what their bodies needed. And it was a fight. And it was a fight that I lost every single night. And I'll never forget this one night. The night wasn't really about what my son did, as it was probably no different than any other night before. But the reason it stands out is really my reaction to the situation. It was so not cool, and I am sure that there are others listening today that have probably had a similar reaction once or more. And I yelled, and I think I chucked a tantrum like I was a 6-year-old. And, I just sort of hung my head in shame after realizing what I did. And you know what? I ended up crying in the shower that night. And that was the moment. That was the moment when I just knew I had to come up with a plan. Things just couldn't continue the way they were. And I know a lot of you are at that point now. And I want to share my knowledge with you guys to give you a little nudge into action. I'm here for you. I didn't have anyone when I was going through this. And this is why I'm here for all of you, because I don't want it to be as hard for you as it was for me. So there are a couple of things that could be causing your child's picky eating habits. Sensory processing disorder, or SPD, could be affecting the way your child eats. SPD is just like super common in children who have autism, ADHD, anxiety, and most are extremely picky eaters. Having about 10 foods or less they will tolerate, and they just become so defensive when dealing with the taste, the smell, sound, and textures and foods. And there are several strategies I encourage parents who face this challenge to use, but the most common is food chaining. Now, food chaining is a technique I commonly use for families in my program. There's a whole module on it, and you'll learn really the secret to change the shape, change the seasoning, change the cooking method, and change the way your child tries the same food, but just in different ways. So, for example, potato can be prepared in a million different ways. Don't change the food that they enjoy. Change the way that you serve it. Change the texture and the seasonings. Include herbs and spices. Just keep introducing it. Change up the shape, the seasoning, the preparation. You can deep fry, pan fry, air fry, make it into mash, tots, add spices, combined with sweet potato mash. It's all about changing things super slowly and carefully, starting from a base that your child already enjoys. Did you know that a child needs to try a new food about 15 times before they may accept it? Okay, just think about that. Keep trying. Sometimes kids just have a lot of negative thoughts and emotion when it comes to eating and become so stressed just at the thought of the process. You really want to introduce fun and laughter, and it's one of the ways kids can really release that stress, tension and fear, and that can really get in the way of enjoying food. We want to warm up that connection with our children through smiles and humor and games so that dinner time is fun and so they feel safe to tell us about their big feelings that they're having. Those big feelings can really get in the way of enjoying foods. And I sent an email out on the weekend about some fun table games. If you missed it, reach out to me, drop a comment in the comments below, and I'll totally send it to you. I can add you to my mailing list so you don't miss out on all the tips and tricks that I give on a weekly basis. You also want to positively frame the language everyone is using at the dinner table. And I have a freebie that I'm going to give to you at the end of the live that will really help you choose that language that's going to help and really not hinder the situation. Okay, next one. Zinc deficiency is another one. And I shared a video last week, and I'm going to pop the link to that video in the comments, but I'm just going to quickly brief you on, just the summary of it. So zinc deficiency can cause a loss of taste buds. You just would never know that. No doctor's telling you that. No one here on the internet's telling you that. And it can affect the way that our brain processes the taste of foods. And once this happens, many foods can actually taste gross or terrible or even offensive. And as the zinc deficiency gets worse, the way food tastes gets worse, and the aversions to food obviously are going to increase. This can happen with any food, especially vegetables, things that have strange textures, smells, colors, and the zinc deficient child then starts to limit food choices, and it becomes this vicious cycle. It may have started with a zinc deficiency, but then it becomes a habit. And we all know habits are very hard to break, even for us as adults. And a lot of the time, it can just get so much worse until you address it. Now, in the comments, I'm going to post a link to a video that I previously shared on zinc deficiency and how you can look into that further. I'm just going to do that right now. Okay, that's there for you. And you can watch that video if you really want to explore this further and what you need to do. Now, I'm going to move into a question that was asked by Devon Davis. She asked, can you help with a picky eater that takes extremely long to eat? Okay, slow eaters can really be super stressful and frustrating for parents. So I'm sorry that you're going through this, Devon. Not only does dinner time take forever, but you're also consumed with guilt because, that your child's just not getting the nutritious foods they need when you finally admit defeat after an eternity of trying. So I'm going to just share a couple of suggestions with you. Everything that I've shared on today's live is really targeted to you as well. That will totally help you. But the secret is really establishing set meal times, and you really want to limit snacks between meals. I know it's like this counterproductive thing, and you're probably struggling in your mind about, well, if I limit what they're getting at snack time, they're not going to eat dinner, and they're not going to get what they need. But it really allows them to be hungry and ready for food. You want to set a consistent meal time where possible and make sure every time they sit at the table, they're hungry and ready to eat. So you don't want to do it just after eating a snack. And you want to only serve water at the table and limit other drinks throughout the day. Giving milk with dinner, you don't need to do it. It fills them up. It stops them from getting the nutrients they need. Same thing goes with juice, and same thing goes throughout the day. Older kids don't need as much milk as what people are giving them, and so you really want to be able to give them those nutritious, micro-rich nutrient foods, and filling them up with liquid is not the way to do it. You don't want to become a short order cook. So first, let me tell you, we should never ever be a slave to our children's food preferences and should not cook to suit only them. Meals should also be a time for family connection and interaction. Okay, meal times are a time where you can be social and reconnect with our kids and families, not just about devouring foods. You want to take that stress away. When you look at it this way, you're setting up your kid for a lifetime of success by teaching her how to enjoy the company of meals rather than just eating for a purpose. Thinking about it this way also takes a whole lot of stress away from you as a parent. I know picky eating can be tough to deal with for everyone. I understand the challenges you face. I've been there. I felt it. I felt that emotion and that dread. And I also know that there are different underlying reasons for refusals of foods. Bring some fun to the table to reduce any anxiety that might be going on. And also feel free to PM me. I can learn more about your family so I can give more targeted advice for you. Honestly, I do this day in and day out. I work through these challenges with all of my families that are, in my program. And if you want someone to help you in this process, someone who deals with it day in and day out, drop me a PM or book a call and we can totally work through the next steps for your family and what they can look like. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Sorry for the delay in starting, and I hope you have a great weekend. So bye everyone.